I am very excited to introduce Cheryl Ketchens. She is going to be speaking about how to hire a contractor, the 5 easy steps, focusing mainly on a kitchen remodel. She is doing speech number 3, even though this is her 5th speech out of the manual. And she's going to, in general, inform you, persuade you, entertain, or inspire you. And the exact purpose is what you want to do afterwards. So let's welcome Cheryl up here.
And it's still morning, so good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Who is planning a remodel this year, this summer? Anybody planning a remodel? A kitchen, a bath?
Possibly a whole house.
Possibly a whole house, okay. Good luck to you for that. But anyway, I'm gonna get you started on the right track with finding, when you leave here today, you're going to know how to hire the right contractor. And I'm gonna show you how to do that in 5 easy steps. Step number 1 in hiring a contractor, you wanna ask for referrals. It is essential that you ask for referrals because word of mouth is still the best way to hire anyone. You want to ask your friends, your co-workers, your family members, maybe your boss, but you want to ask for referrals and find out who has done a good job for them, or if they know someone that you could talk to that's done an excellent job before you dive into your project. So step number 1 is getting referral. Step number 2 in the process is checking out licenses and any other credentials for that contractor. So you've gotten the referrals, now you need to check out their licenses and other credentials, anything that you can look up and do your homework. So look and see if they belong to an association of any sort, a building association or a home builders or a remodel, or we're talking about kitchens today, so we're looking at a kitchen remodel. So see if that individual has got their licenses in place in terms of their builders association, if they belong to that. Check with the county, check with the city, and just make sure everything is, in line with that person, to make sure they've got all their stuff in order before you contact them. So now you've already got your referrals, you've got you've checked out some licenses and other credentials, and now you're ready to contact that contractor. So you contact that individual or individuals and set up an interview. So step number 3 in the process is to set up that interview and to make sure that that contractor is a good fit for you. So you set up that meeting, you sit down with them, you go over everything, starting off, of course, with what their licenses are. You want to see any references they may have, what their insurance is. Are they going to hire subcontractors? These are all things that you want to ask them. And are those subcontractors, are they insured? They have the proper licenses? Are the licenses valid and up to date? These are all things that you want to look at. So you sat down with them, and you also want to tell them what your budget is. When can you start this job? I'm so excited, I want to get my kitchen done. When can you start this job? And get a timeline in place, when they can start, and make sure that that fits into your schedule and your lifestyle. Also, when do they think a completion date is for? Okay, you've seen my kitchen, you see what needs to get done. You said you can start here. When can you finish? You gotta be, kitchen is the heart of the home. Everybody's in the kitchen. You gotta have your kitchen back as soon as possible. So can you set a realistic timeline for me as to when you can have it done? So you wanna make sure that you get all that from them, their subcontractors they're gonna use, or anything like that. You got a timeline, you talked about the budget. You might wanna take some notes while you're doing all this. I'm a note taker, so I'm big on taking notes. And then you can review that. After you've had your meeting, you can go over things and make sure you're on the same page. And you expect that contractor from there. So you're going to draw a contract based on what we just talked about. Is that right? Are we on the same page? I'm looking for this when you send me that, when you submit your contract. So step number 4 would be following up with those references that individual has given you. You got the references from them. You want to follow up with any homes that they've done and find out if those homeowners were happy. Were they recommended again? And if so, why? What was their experience like? Then step number 5 in the process would be to get your contract in place. You've gone over everything, now you've got your license, you've got your contract in place, and you want to review that with that contractor, make sure it's all, everything that what you agreed upon. Okay? If you're not excited, you're not happy with what's in the contract, if it's totally different from what that individual told you in your discussions, you don't want to move forward with that. There's a red flag right there. But anyway, keep it in mind that everything is in place. Then the next thing you do is, of course, move forward with your project. Let me tell you about a story. This is the why. You want to make sure that you follow those steps. The why is Al. I opened my door to my home to an Al. 1997, I was taking an enrichment course at JCC, adult enrichment course. Al's in my class. So I've seen Al in class for weeks. He has a card posted on the bulletin board, and he's a contractor. Wyatt had already contacted a local contractor, and they were weeks into it. I had my budget set, had my 3 kids at home. I was afraid that my husband was going to reallocate those monies, and that was going to leave me in a quandary. What was I going to do? We got the money set aside for the kitchen. Am I going to get the kitchen? So I, instead of waiting with the local person that was reputable, I went with Al. Al said a lot of things up front. We agreed upon things. Al gets into my home and turns everything into a nightmare. He paints the kitchen like we agreed upon, white, just standard white. I can always change colors later. I like color. He decides he's not going to paint the trim. So I come home and I say, from work, and I say, Al, when are you going to paint that trim? Oh, I'm not. I said, why not? Well, that's not in the price. I said, I paint myself. I know you trim windows, okay? Surely you're not going to leave my walls stark white, and you're not going to do my trim. Al, we talked about placement of lighting. Al puts lights in. They're all generally located in one spot. So I'm not happy with that. That's not what we agreed upon. But the big cat got the big thing was the stove. We have a standard size stove. Al builds a countertop, tile countertop that we agreed upon. The tiling place goes, you know what? That guy you guys hired, he asked us how to tile. He's never tiled before. He wants me to put peel and press tiles in place on the floor, so he wants to be doing that. He didn't bring any of those contractors, subcontractors that he set up front. So the moral of the story is, make sure that you follow those 5 essential steps when you want to hire a contractor. You don't want to just bring an Al into your home who turns your life into a nightmare. A stove that won't fit, and you have cabinets you have to send back. Thank you.